What's good, YouTube, man? I'm back with another video. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all no lie. I was a little disappointed with myself with that last video. And I'm disappointed even more that I haven't been posting every day. I mean, I have, but I haven't. But it's just strange. To me, I like to have, like, it not say a day later or a day later. I like to say 10 hours since posted. 5 hours since posted. You feel me? But I want to get into this Melly murder trial, bro. Listen. I'm going to keep doing great reactions for y'all. I'm going to keep doing real content for y'all soon. Just be patient with me, man. Listen, I cannot be the biggest YouTuber that I want to be. Not the biggest, but I can't be the YouTuber that I want to be if y'all don't drop a like. I can't be the YouTuber that grows constantly if y'all don't drop likes on the content. So let's just get these likes up, man. And I want to see, like, my man's walk free. I want to see Melly walk free, bro. Listen, if y'all want to see Melly walk free, drop a like.
Out with opening statements from the prosecution and from the defense. Prosecution seems very confident by straight up saying he shot and killed them as the first sentence. And they also point out the phone records and the ballistics and all that. And then Melly's lawyer comes up and explains how there's no motive, no murder weapon, and that apparently that it wasn't even his phone that they were tracked, and a whole lot of reasonable doubt, which is all he needs to prove to this jury is that there's reasonable doubt. Melly seems nervous but also laughing at some points, like chilling. But there's a whole lot going on here. I tried to summarize 7 hours, so here it is. Wow.
Thank you for that.
Here we
Let's
go,
go.
boys. This is the first look at Melly. He seems like he's in a good mood with his lawyer. Or one of his lawyers, at least. I know his ass gotta be nervous as hell, bruh.
On October 26th of 2018, this defendant...
Hey, shout out to this dude. First, before what is his name? His YouTube channel, Cuff Boys. Well, shout out to him, bro.
Shot and killed 2 of his friends.
That's a bit bold. Hold on. That's a bit bold. That's a bit bold for her to just make that statement. Allegedly.
Of 2018.
October 20. Dang, 2018?
Shot and killed.
It's been 5
2
years.
of his friends. He killed Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams. Portland Henry, the co-defendant, shows up at Memorial Miramar.
Is that, what's his name? That's Grimy. 30D Grimy.
He has 2 dead bodies. In the front passenger seat is Anthony Williams.
This is one of the prosecutors, obviously.
In the rear passenger seat is Christopher Thomas. They are dead, they are riddled with bullets, and the car is full of blood. Christopher Thomas, there is multiple defects to his body. Anthony Williams, who is sitting in the front, has 2 major injuries. We were at the recording studio, we drove home, and you're going to hear that on Miramar Parkway, sometime between 160th, which is also commonly referred to as Dykes Road, and 170th.
Why did they speed it up?
Henry says they were shot. That he ducked down, and you'll see him doing that in the video.
This is where Bortland fucked up. We all saw that footage of Bortland, like, talking to the police. I'll put it on the screen right now if you want to go watch that. He seemed like he didn't know what his plan was from the get-go.
The detectives from Miramar, at this point, shut down the entire length of Miramar Parkway. And they sit and they walk side by side for an hour, that mile-long stretch. There is a lack of any evidence whatsoever to support that a drive-by happened on Miramar Parkway. It has 16 easily identifiable bullet defects. It has a broken out...
Damn, I didn't know I had 16 bullet holes in it.
And that the recording studio is equipped with cameras. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see footage from both inside and outside. You're going to learn that on the morning of the 26th at approximately 1 p.m., detectives went out to the recording studio to try and see if somebody had followed. That is the first time detectives learned that there was actually 4 people in that Jeep. And that the defendant, Jamel Dennis...
Okay, left front driver. He was front driver. So he was the driver, right front. Melly was in the back. And then, who's this dude?
Is in the rear driver's side seat.
Definitely a little bit of a red flag that Bortland didn't tell them that Melly was in the car. I mean, why would that be a thing? If you lie and say you're not in a car where 2 people got killed, a red flag. Let's be honest here, boys. That's just how life works. Detectives are going to be like, wait, why did you lie about that? Big piece of evidence that the prosecutor's going to use here is tracking Melly and all of them around, so...
As Jamel Dennis believes that recording studio...
Why did they get it sped up?
He's playing on his phone. Then Anthony Williams had his phone with him. And the interesting fact that's important to keep in mind is Anthony Williams, the deceased in the front passenger seat, and Jamel Demons, who is the shooter, in the rear driver's side passenger seat, have the exact same make and model of cell phone. Not only do they have the same make and model of cell phone, they are on the exact same cell phone plan.
Okay.
They're using the same service, the same cell towers, everything like that. So you can compare the information from those 2 cell phones and see how they track together.
God, it is crazy that they all lived together when this happened, too.
From Pines Boulevard, it travels west all the way to the edge of the Everglades, where it is desolate, where it is dark, where there are no witnesses. You're not going to see people. You're not going to see activity. There's no streetlights. And at 4:02 a.m.
Okay, so if there's no camera, there's no, like, evidence and nothing like this, bro. Hey, I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna walk free. Let's just keep it a stack.
Janelle Demmons exits that vehicle and stages that driver.
Damn, they have this car
Janelle
tracked
Demmons,
going to like
that's
the
crazy.
middle of nowhere, kind of like on a road where nothing's going on, no witnesses or anything.
One person says, oh, it's at this location. One person says it's over here on the side of the road. Look at what the physical evidence shows, and that's what I would suggest to you is the most reliable.
Yeah, their stories weren't lined up, bro.
The fatal wounds for Christopher Thomas and Anthony Williams are coming from inside the vehicle, from the rear driver's side passenger going out towards the passenger side. Is that when the drive-by was staged at 4:02 a.m.?
Oh, okay.
The victims were already dead. The medical examiner will be able to testify and tell you that the fatal shots to Anthony Williams, to his head, that enters in the back of his head and exits at the top, blowing out the front passenger window, was fatal. And that the additional wounds that are consistent with the trajectories going through the vehicle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jack Mason got shot in the back of the head and it
Oh,
went
wow.
through the front windshield. God, the details are so gruesome, bro.
Your post-mortem inflicted gunshot wounds.
Oh, he hit him when they were already dead, too. When
Yeah.
Oh, dude. This is
Yeah.
what they're saying, that they were already dead, and when he was staging the drive-by, he shot him again.
That Christopher Thomas was shot in his left cheek. That was the fatal shot for him. You're also going to hear about stippling. Stippling is unburnt gunpowder that's ejected from the front of a firearm when a bullet is fired.
So,
Why is it sped up? I don't like
oh,
that.
the gunpowder from the gun is stifling. I thought it was, she's pronouncing it stippling. I guess I'm a fucking idiot. So that basically says the gun was within 2 feet of the person they shot. So, like, basically execution style. Not really indicative of a drive-by.
And from that pattern, the medical examiner's office can give an approximate distance. Why can they not give an exact one? Because their firearm in this case was never recovered.
That's going to be a big defense, Melly's team, is that they never found a murder weapon. You're putting this guy in prison for the rest of his life, or trying to kill him for the rest of his life, and there's no murder weapon. It's happened before. People have been convicted before without murder weapons, so.
They find one spent shell casing for a .40 caliber. That shows a gun was fired inside of that car. Afterwards, Mr. Demmons phone tracks with the two victims until about 4:20. So 15 minutes before Portland Henry takes the victims to the hospital.
Yeah, I remember people saying, or someone said that he FaceTimed his mom, but I don't think that's true, or we'll see right here.
So when did he get convicted? Because that was 2018 when this happened. Did he get convicted that year?
FaceTimes his girlfriend at the time, Mariah Hamilton.
Has he been in jail since
So
then?
Mariah is Melly's girlfriend. Let's remember that name so everyone understands.
Gets the phone call and screams, waking up her mother, Felicia Holmes. Felicia Holmes also
Felicia is Melly's girlfriend's mother, so Mariah's mother.
sees the defendant, Janelle Demmons, on that FaceTime video call. He sends a drop pin to one of his friends, Frederick Gibbons. Frederick Gibbons is also involved in the music industry.
So that's Fredo Bang or whatever,
Oh,
right?
Fredo
Frederick
Bang.
Gibbons, then, about 11 minutes later, is sending another drop pin, where Mr. Demmons has moved a couple of meters. And see Mr. Demmons taking steps. Lo and behold, look at the health activity data, a pedometer, a step counter, that's what it is. 70 steps. Then you're gonna
Bro, you know how your phone has the health app? It fucking tracks your steps. I be checking my steps sometimes randomly. That's crazy. His
That
health
is
steps
insane.
coming back to bite him.
another 70 steps.
Oh,
Then at 4:42, the time frame in which he's sending that drop.
Hey, if you out here living like that, all I say is get rid of those apps. And actually, just get rid of a phone. You don't need a phone, bro. If you're gonna use it for certain things, do not keep it on you. Keep it away
To
from
4:53 a.m., you're going to see 1,397 steps.
Oh
You will
my
see
God.
this data showing
Jesus.
the defendant had the phone and was using it, giving out that phone number to multiple people as being his phone number. And to further prove that, the state is going to show you the Instagram, the Facebook, the Snapchat. Because contrary to popular belief, Snapchat doesn't disappear.
yeah, Snapchat doesn't disappear. I don't know why some kids actually think Snapchat disappears. Like, obviously on the back end, they can get that.
The defendant, during the course of the months of October 2018 through December of 2018, gives out his phone number 15 times.
Damn.
Says, this is me, and all during the same time frame of October
Can't deny that's not your phone number if you give it out 15 times. Jesus Christ.
26th of 2018. He's giving out that phone number.
Giving it out to
This
who?
is not an actor that's playing a character. This was his real life. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see that as soon as October 24th, 2 days before the homicide, Janelle Demmons is learning the oath of loyalty to the G-Shine blood set. You're going to see things in these messages that will be indicative of blood membership. Anytime a word would normally be spelled with a C, as in Charlie, they don't use that.
Oh my God, she's talking about replacing C with B. That's kind of fucking stupid. Who
Yeah,
cares?
that's a little
They
wild.
replace it
Like
with the letter B.
they exaggerating it, even though they're not. They're kind of like blowing it out of
So instead
proportion.
of saying, I'm at the crib, they say, I'm at the rib. Why, ladies and gentlemen? Because C is associated with Chris. Janelle Demmons is dropping C's and using B's.
The prosecutor's done a really good job of trying to already shit on the defense because she's trying to say this isn't an act. That's what Melly's team is going to say, that this is all an act and that he's not really a member of a gang and all that shit. So it's going to be interesting here.
This individual is reaching out, asking if Mr. Demmons is good, and Mr. Demmons responds very succinctly, I did that. Shh.
I made a video about that too as well, like 8-9 months ago. It's concerning for sure, but there could be more context to it. Who knows? I've already had like 10 kids hit me up since this was shown.
That's literally, bro, that's so open-ended. Like, literally, that could be anything. That could mean anything.
Like, what do you think about this? I'm like, dude, I made a video about this literally like 8 months ago or some shit. It's on the screen right here. So it looks like he has 3 people helping him. Oh, he's smiling a little bit. He seemed a little nervous, bro. He's breathing a little heavy. He's probably just happy to see some of his friends and family, honestly, because apparently this motherfucker's been locked up in like some bad conditions over the past few years.
Terrible.
What they will bring you is a case that is riddled with reasonable doubt, that is founded on an incompetent and incomplete investigation, and exercise of poor judgment.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this though. My boy ain't take the Gunner route. Hey, we'll talk about Gunner too, because Gunner snitched, but that song he came out with was hard. I've never been a fan of Gunner though. I've never been a huge fan of Gunner. I like 2 songs of his ever. The one with Chris Brown and somebody else probably. The one with Chris Brown and another one. But this one he just dropped was hard.
My dad, the state cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt the allegations that they have made. To let you know that she does not have to prove motive. And she's right about that. The law doesn't require her to prove motive. But you know what does require motive? A young man to wake up one day and decide that he's going to kill 2 of his best friends that he grew up with, best friends that he hangs out with, best friends who he lives with, best friends whose careers he was trying to launch alongside his own. They have no reason for why he would do this. And if after 4 years of investigation, the state comes and says, hey, he killed 2 of his friends, his best friends, and you're wondering why, their answer is, I don't know. That's the first indication that they're just guessing and don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, motive's gonna be a big one here.
That's gonna literally put a staple in the case, bro. They have no motive. These were his day ones, A1s. He has them tatted on his face, bro.
Conspiracy about like they were threatening Melly's mom and all that bullshit, but I'm pretty sure that's been disproven.
I heard another thing is they were trying to extort him.
By itself is reasonable doubt. Why he would commit such a heinous crime against his own 2 best friends for no reason. Is that the lead detective, Detective Moret, saw a video of Mr. Demons getting into a car.
The only way we find out why he did it is if they clear him on all charges. That is the only way we'll find out.
Plus minutes before bodies were found in that car. And then he discovered that Mr. Demons was a rising star. He decided he's the only person that could have committed this crime. Because if you're involved in prosecuting a star, you become a star. And he had tunnel vision. He zeroed in on this person, this young man, as the only possible perpetrator of that crime, to the exclusion of all other leads and evidence. There's a difference between cases that are investigated and cases that are fabricated. There are a number of leads that you will discover.
Oh, so now he's going to point other different leads that other people could have done this and killed them.
But were either completely ignored or given short shrift. Let's start with the most obvious. Cortland Henry.
I saw people saying this. Is he about to put some blame on Bortland? That's surprising. Melly's going to let his lawyer blame Bortland?
Those were not Mr. Demons' lies. Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 dead bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, gunpowder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about...
So he's putting all the lies on Bortland.
They soon...
Okay, here's the thing. That's not on Melly. Does Melly get to decide what his lawyer argument is? And necessarily, if he beats the case, Bortland can beat his case as well by you throwing the same thing on Melly. So is that telling? I don't think that's telling. I don't think.
That he's lying about the location of this incident, and they went back to him, and they labeled him a victim. They said, "We know you're scared." A gentleman named Montrell Roll and his sister, Nia Hewitt. Who were they? Well, another police department came into possession of jail calls between those 2 that occurred within 3 days after the murders, and discussed what they describe as intimate details of the murders. Intimate details means details that are not in the public domain. They go out and interview Miss Hewitt. They don't interview Mr. Roll. And they ask her, well, how did you know all these intimate details? Oh, I heard it, something to the effect of a word on the street. Doesn't say when she heard it. Doesn't say who she heard it from. That's lead number 2.
Yeah, I mean, lawyer's doing his job. He's trying to show reasonable doubt right now.
That is Robert Colbert. Who is he? He's a gentleman that...
There's a lot of reasonable doubt there.
...owns a social media account by the name of Backwards. Within days after these murders, posts this message. LOL. We killed 2 of your niggas. Overkill. Took him 7 months to go and talk to Mr. Colbert, the owner of this account, that posts what amounts to an unequivocal confession to involvement in that murder. Why? Already had his gun.
So some dude had an Instagram account saying I killed these 2 N-words. Yeah, I mean, like, reasonable doubt, but it could be someone false claiming shit. People false claim shit all the time on the internet. Who knows?
David Hedgepath. He had a Twitter account called Crucial Almighty. He posts a confession to this murder.
He's got a lot of people that posted confessions.
Something to the effect of, we coming at that Jeep. Can't remember the quote. You're going to hear about it. And essentially it was a confession to involvement in the murders. To go and talk to him. They knew about it a year and a half earlier. It took them a year and a half to go and talk to him. Why do you do that unless you've already concluded that you know who committed the crime, you've already determined who your defendant will be? Well, actually before, this is a year and a half before, they said, oh, we've determined that he was just trying to start an internet beef to advance his career. Who told them that? So it took them a year and a half to go down there and track him down. And when they do go and track him down, they say, hey, did you commit the murder? No. Were you in the area? No. Where were you? Oh, I could have been at work. At work where? Any one of 3 places. Okay, could you give me a work schedule? As though that would prove anything. He says, well, I can get it now. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Just email it to me. And he doesn't even do that. There is no report that he even follows up and sends them an email of this mysterious work schedule proving that he wasn't at the location. They conclude, oh, he's not there, wasn't him, case closed.
Even if some of these people are false claiming and they're just trying to start beefs and shit online, it does make a jury second guess themselves for sure.
Several other people who are
Hey, this lawyer got some stuff, I ain't gonna lie to you.
potential suspects who were not tracked down, you are going to hear about them during the course of this trial. The state looks at its case and says, oh man, this was a little incompetent. Miramar Police seems to have botched its investigation. And they call the Broward Sheriff's Office and ask them to come and look at the investigation upon which this entire prosecution rests. And he says he instantly knew he had to start from scratch. I think his words were, it was the worst thing I had seen in my life. This is the Broward Sheriff's Office evaluating the work product of the Miramar Police Department.
So now he's trying to make the Miramar Police Department.
Hey, Melly coming home 2020. When you think this trial gonna be over? 2024, Melly home.
Trying to look dumb.
Melly home 2024. He kicked back, laid up. I
Terrible.
swear.
What's going on here? In case to restart.
Melly-
You're not here to judge
The
Mr.
menace.
Demmons. You're here to judge the sufficiency of the state's case. That is your assignment. You're not here for a show to see who you like more. There are 2 grades, beyond a reasonable doubt and not guilty. The state is telling you they have a state that is free of reasonable doubt. You're not here looking for proof. You're here looking for doubt. Their entire case is hinged upon the technology of a phone they claim to have been in Mr. DeMons' possession. What they fail to tell you is that they come across evidence that Mr. DeMons got out of that car before this incident. Of somebody other than Mr. DeMons. What they forgot to tell you is that their own witness will tell you that yes, that phone and Mr. Williams' phone and a number of other phones were all in the same account, and all of the people in the house used to use them interchangeably.
I don't know how I feel about that because that was a common defense in the X trial was that Michael Boatwright's phone, the guy that shot and killed X, it wasn't actually his phone. It was like a group phone. I was like, is this a common thing? Do motherfuckers have a group phone? I feel like that's not a fucking thing.
If you're a reasonable person and you have doubt, that's reasonable doubt. And if there is a scintilla of reasonable doubt, you must.
Hey, that group phone thing. Hey, it's not a normal. It's not a real thing. No one does. Listen, but for the fact of this case, no, let me not speak on that. It sounds good. It sounds great for this case. I'm not gonna lie.
Have the courage to speak up and say so. You're not here to judge him. You're here to judge the sufficiency of their case. They have a big task in front of them. Should probably get to it.
He said they have a big task in front of them. They should probably get to it. Yeah, I mean, Melly's lawyer did a pretty good job on opening statements. He's like really trying to cast reasonable doubt because, you know, there's no proof that Melly had a gun physically in his fucking hand. Some of it could be circumstantial. Like, it's kind of true. So she works for Miramar Police Department. Okay.
Reenacting a story, he's going like this because he's saying that he had to duck down in the driver's seat. He was driving to avoid being hit.
I know this man's nervous, bro. His heart's probably beating. So here's the footage of Bortland arriving to the hospital with the dead bodies at 4:35 in the morning. He's whipping it.
Now, so we don't have to go through the entire video. Did you recognize the vehicle that just entered the hospital?
Yes, ma'am.
And was that the vehicle that you observed, that you testified to earlier?
Yes, sir.
Going to publish the outside ER entrance, continuing to publish?
Bro, sprinting inside.
Going to pause the video at 4:36 and 11 seconds. We see a second individual in the video frame. Can you recognize that person?
Yeah, that's me.
No way they show the bodies, right? Yeah, they blurred it. Another guy worked for the Miramar Police Department. This guy, get the fuck out of the way of the camera.
Does the name change depending on the jurisdiction?
I'm just joking. I know shit happens in court. People get in the way.
You're
of
in the
shit.
way of the
Okay,
camera.
Moving further west, what's the next major intersection that's reflected on this map on the far left on Miramar Parkway?
This guy came in and explained the roads and all that information. Pretty boring stuff, to be honest. I'm gonna keep going.
Left, he's on the far left side here. Okay.
What's bro writing down? See, it's really shitty quality. If you want to listen to this, go watch my other video. Way better quality than this shit. It's basically Bortland telling the police where the fucking shooting happened, but his story is so mixed up. It makes him look really bad because he looks like he's lying, to be honest, but...
You have the description of the car? That's what I'm saying. Let me see.
They just asked if do you have the description of the car. He said I didn't see no car. He's talking about people hating on them at some point. They have enemies, so people could have done this.
I'm still ducking. I'm trying not to be seen, you know what I'm saying?
He just said no to his lawyer. She's whispering something and they looked at the camera.
Should it have fear or barrel?
Hey, listen. She's probably saying we gotta take this a different route and go and snitch or something. He probably saying no. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Melly not like that. I don't think Melly gonna tell on nobody.
He actually looks a little annoyed with his lawyer right now.
They gonna call that boy Melly the Telly. Swear to God.
This lawyer keeps saying shit to him and to make him laugh.
He's laughing.
She did it like twice. What is going on?
Like we didn't know what it was. It was like I know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
I wish I could hear their conversation. Like, what are they talking about?
like, you know how? Okay, you know how
Melly just made that crazy face. So here's the infamous footage of them leaving the studio at 2 in the morning or whatever. And I believe this is Sack Chaser right here. He was the taller one. He goes in
Sack
the front
Chaser
right
and
passenger.
Juvie. Got it. Yeah, two friends.
I think that could be Juvie right here, going into the back right passenger.
Always Sack and Juvie, so you know we gotta bring that.
No, that could be Bortland actually.
Yeah, that's Bortland. That's
Yeah, that's Bortland. I
what's
believe.
his name? 33 Grammy. Is that who that is? Am
Going
I
into
tripping?
the driver's seat. That's the person who dropped off the
I didn't
body.
even know.
Here's Melly walking out. Apparently he has his phone in hand. I haven't seen it yet. Oh yeah, it's right there. Melly gets in the back left seat here.
Excuse me, you're able to see? Yes, all right.
There's Juvie getting in the back right seat. And then they all leave, and 2 of them are dead within 30 minutes. So as soon as the police saw that, they were like, we didn't know this other guy, YNW Melly, was getting in the car as well. Big red flag. Obviously, for any detective, they'd be getting a fucking hard one for this. So they'd be...
Bro, you gotta think, bro. There's like 8 people there right now that could also be the people that did it. So it's just like, because you gotta think they all rolling in groups, bro.
You're like, wait, who's this?
And Detective Moretti and I walked from Pembroke Road all the way to Taft, north on Taft to Taft, and then back. That was about 2 miles.
All right, so now Melly's lawyer is going to come up and cross-examine.
With Mr. Cortland Henry for the first time, you had already been told that based on the description of the location of the incident that he provided to law enforcement, they found no evidence.
Right, from I-70, based on what Cortland told the officers.
So at that time, you had already formed the impression that he was either mistaken or not being candid.
It was, I think through the statement, it was pretty evident that we were trying to narrow down where that location was.
Melly's lawyer's really trying to push that Bortland lied a lot.
Well, later on, we did, after we saw that there was a 4th person in the car, when we didn't find any evidence. So I guess if you want to call that a BS meter or whatever, I'm just trying to gauge if he's being truthful with me, if he's hiding something. We asked him all kinds of questions, whether it was a drug deal, whether he had a beef with someone on 75.
Is there items of jewelry that are visible in this photograph?
Yes, it is.
Jesus, they're showing fucking pictures of the dead bodies right now.
Is there jewelry that is in the deceased earlobes?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I want to see them. I
The
want to see
audio
what they
is
look
so
like.
dog shit, bro. I know it's hard because people are moved. What Sack Chaser had in his pockets right here is ID and
24,
blunt wraps
60,
and
80,
looks like fucking $100 or something.
And this little letter K.
The picture of the bullet holes and the clothes. So I would imagine this is where Melly staged the drive-by in this area, or allegedly staged the drive-by. Who fucking knows, dude? I'm gonna have to be careful in what I say in this fucking videos. Like,
You
people are
really
gonna
do.
be like,
I gotta
"What
be
do
careful too,
you
ain't
mean allegedly? What do you mean? I don't know, dude. I'm a fucking kid making videos on that. I'm not a goddamn police officer. So yeah, that's it for day 1 of Melly's.
Okay, so how does this work? When is the next trial? Is it like every day? Shout out to Cuff Boys. I'm gonna be reacting to everyone if I can possibly, if this goes super radioactive in the likes and the comments. So y'all let me know. I'm gonna react to it by itself later on, not with him, because it's just like I didn't know where to find the original video at. So y'all just make sure y'all drop a like and a subscribe to the channel if you're new. Love, gang.